They're starting to bloom. We are getting flowers. Aren't these beautiful? These are part of the bee balm family right there. So they smell wonderful, like coreopsis. And buds are just starting to come on my tall phlox, but the coreopsis is all lit up here with its sparkle, right? It's confetti. It's beautiful yellow confetti. And I have these gorgeous little cone flowers starting. And there's more of them here. This is a circle. The critters like to go through the middle. And I like to support my plants with other plants to protect them. So my tall phlox tend to go naked at the bottom. They tend to fall over in the wind, things like that. So by putting the coreopsis right there at their base to support them in the big winds and to protect their soil from sun, give them a little bit of a break. These cone flowers are so big this year. Get rid of my paper towel here. These cone flowers, look at my hand. So that's just a bud. This is already the size of my hand. My gorgeous Roseanne geranium. Oh, my beautiful baby, look at you. Besides the bees that love it and the color that is so delightful, it smells just by, just by brushing by it, just by touching it. It's so funny how when you're planted in the right place, you thrive. I actually have 2 Roseannes. This is one of them. They separate right down here, and here's the other one. And notice the other one has sun blocked right in front of it, behind it, and on all sides of it. And so it doesn't do quite as well. It's the same soil, planted at the same time. It's looking like it's reaching out. It reached way out over to here. It's trying to get to the sun, right? It's trying to get to the sun. So I'll probably, because this other one is so beautiful and so big, I'll probably transplant this one. I'll dig it out, give a lot more space in here for the other one, and I'll put it in a sunnier location. So that's how that works, right? So beautiful out here this morning. Oh my goodness. Some more of that beautiful Monarda. Where are all the bees this morning? Does anybody know? Look at all these buds. Oh, I can't wait. Let's take a look. I've put up these fences because I have all of this wild morning glory. And so I put up fences instead of pulling it all up and trying to collect it and get rid of it because it crawls all over my plants. I put up these, just anything vertical to get the plants up off of the ground and climbing. So I've got some climbing. Now you see them now, and then when we come back in a few weeks, it'll be fun to see how they've covered those fences. Good morning. Hi, little bee. Such a good morning. I've trimmed all my orange daisy things. I've trimmed them all. They've all been cut because they're all flowering. See, this is what they turn into, these puff balls of seeds. And so I trimmed them all and I scattered them about the yard in different locations and even on the road for people on the road who will enjoy them maybe next year. So by trimming them like that too, I'll probably get more a second flowering from them. So I stop their process from continuing on these plants, and I spread them about. We'll see what happens. But this is another plant that is passing. It's going to be turning to seed. It's going to be turning to seed here pretty soon. That's fun. I'll probably end up cutting that one too to get another flowering this season. You can see in here I have lots of young buds on the shorter stems, so I'll probably come and cut the first round and let the second round come on up. Excuse me. So let's go see what else is going on in the garden, you guys. It's so pretty out here. You know, some things I'm real proud of. Everything, all the plants and their journey. I know my involvement, and I'm very proud of my involvement. If that's the way you put it, I don't know. But these butterfly, what are they called? Milkweed. This milkweed is coming. And the milkweed, I've been grabbing their milkweed pods from the road for 2 or 3 years now. So I find them growing wild, and I grab the pods and I spread them in my yard. And this is one of the patches that has come from that. This is milkweed. I can't wait to watch the progress. I have another patch that's come here in the yard, which is pretty exciting. I'll show you that later. But this is a beautiful area because I've got one of my baptisias here. And this baptisia is the largest I have ever seen. Oh my goodness. You're doing great, girlfriend. Wow. I can't wait to show you the flower pods in here. That's the beginning of some. I had tons of flowers. I should have lots of seed pods. So we'll see what happens. But I've got a vine growing in here. I gotta get rid of the vine so it doesn't hurt the other ones around it. I have a fence underneath here to hopefully catch the vines. It doesn't seem to be doing that great of a job. I don't know. I'll have to get underneath this plant and grab any vine that might be down there underneath, because they grow up. Oh, see, here's one. They grow up and you don't see them until they've already done damage to the plant. Here we go. I got a vine out. There's another vine popping up here. Baptisia I plant as a memorial. So this baptisia is a memorial for my sweet niece. Our family was blessed with a little girl named Kelly Faye. And Kelly Faye had cerebral palsy. And quite a struggle in life. She was my blood, and I'll never forget her. And this baptisia blooms every spring and makes me think of my Kelly Faye, my Danny, and my Cindy. God bless them. So, yeah, lots of vines growing in here. Gotta protect the baptisia. Now, my baptisia tend to come and go, where they have some really good years. That was a plant, you guys. They have some really good years, and then I think they probably have a life expectancy where They don't just go on forever. I don't know. My uncle has one of these, and he's had it for many, many, many years. So it's probably just luck of the locations. That's the most amazing baptisia I've ever seen. But I've lost a couple of others. And so although the plants may pass, and they are memorial plants, I go and I get another one, and I give it, I dedicate it to that person. So I have one for my brother-in-law that didn't do so well, so I got another one. and so it's not about the plant, it's about the thought. Something else I love so much are the little surprises, like this guy in here. This guy in here is this little... Now, if I weeded this area, I would have never found that sweet little purple thing, which is probably something I bought, knowing me. I bought a packet of seeds or something, I don't even know, because I love purple flowers. And this is a tiny little purple wildflower, it looks like. So yeah, it probably came in seeds, a wildflower packet. We have, these are at my eye level, so these are 5 feet tall or taller. They're going to be my old-fashioned, well, there's a mix in here, but mostly it's my old-fashioned daylilies. You know, the orange daylilies. I'm trying to get the vine off of them so it doesn't pull them over. It gives the vine something to climb on for a while, but ooh, if it's hurting its neighbors, it's gotta go. So I put a fence out here for it to help it have something to climb on and hold it so that it doesn't need to climb on the plants. Here is another morning glory climbing on this morning glory vine climbing on this little fence. We just got to keep it away from the plants, and we should be fine. My daisies for Grammy. They're all wild daisies. I try to spread them when I can. Got a couple of allium here that are going to be opening up pretty soon. Part of the onion family. They have such pretty flowers. There's a bunch more over here. Check this out. See them here? How great is that? So they'll be opening pretty soon. This bed, I always call my bluebonnets and my sweet William and blah blah blah. I always get it wrong, so I'm not even going to try right now. That's it. That's all you get for a description of whatever this is. I remember every once in a while, or I'll come across it and I'll say, oh yeah, that's, I don't know why I always call them bluebonnets. That's not what they are. This is what they are. And then I forget it and call them bluebonnets again. I don't know, you guys. It's so funny. But they're passing. But what I do, and I've already done once in here, and I'll have to come by and do it again. In fact, here's a good example. I've gone and I've cut them all down, because this is what happens. They end up growing new buds. So after the blossoms pass, I come and I chop. This too has a fence around it to capture the morning glories. You see the wildflowers? So this is what we do instead of a lawn. You think, oh no, the ticks. It's actually not that bad, you guys, because what happens is the wildlife in here, we have so many birds. This vine is growing up. So many birds. I've got another one of these here. They're tomato cages, but I'm not doing tomatoes this year. At least not tomatoes that need cages. So, yeah, so I'm using those cages here. Something else I do before the cages, I'll show you over here, where I have another little morning glory growing up here. Let me back off. There we go. I just put this cage here to capture it. But before the cage, oh, there's a plane. There's a plane. It's such a nice, quiet Saturday morning. I live near an airport. It's so funny when I moved to this house. I used to live on a very busy road. That's why we moved here. After 25 years of a busy road, I just couldn't stand it anymore. I had to. We moved. So it would have been nice to stay in the same place forever, but you know what? Life is too short. So I came to this quiet lot where we have, acres and acres of undeveloped land around us. And I thought, oh, this is going to be wonderful. It'll be so quiet. But now I hear 2 highways, an airport, and a train. Not often, but certainly regularly. Anyway, back to the story. So what I do is I cut from my irises. See my irises here. This is a seed pod I've let go, but so they end up with these stalks that are, stiff and tall. I cut them down and I stick them in the dirt wherever I see vines growing, and then the vines will start to climb on those. So I put them all around to catch vines, but then I come through and I'll put one of these cages to keep things under control, because I don't want to pull up the morning glories. They're really beautiful in the fall. They're all white and they open in the evenings. I think I just called them morning glories. They probably open in the morning too, but my memory is saying, oh, they're so beautiful at night. They are. Oh, I want to show you the rest of those. So here's another patch of the stuff I planted. What was it? No, that's not it. It's over here. It's for the butterflies. Milkweed. See the milkweed? Oh! So I've got this beautiful patch of milkweed, and it smells like, oh, so good, right? Milkweed is wonderful. Well, if that's milkweed, then what is this? This is not milkweed. I better watch this carefully. I'm not sure what it is. Sometimes something, when you have a wildflower concept or approach like we do, sometimes you'll get something growing that isn't friendly, and you gotta watch for those things and help out somebody that might be getting swallowed up or struggled out here. Oh, I love these tall grasses. Look over the hill. Look at all these. And that goes around the property. They're everywhere. These plants are, that's my eye level, and that's above me. So these plants are 5, 6 feet tall. How fun is that? We are having such a lush year. Very lush season for us. Part of it is my lawn is finally mature, which is nice. And part of it is an amazing season, amazing growing season. So lush. And everything's doing so well. This thing, I'm not sure if it's a plant or a weed. That's one of my transplants where I took a stick off my willow bush and stuck it in the dirt. I did that a bunch this spring. That's from last year. It's doing really well. But I have a bunch of new ones. I'll show you my little nursery. This is an ever-blooming lilac. It blooms multiple times through the season. So I've gone ahead and already pruned it. It's all been chopped down. All the first blossoms have been cut off. And I had some new blossoms down here last week, but they're past. So we'll see how that goes and whether or not we get much. It's usually after the first full bloom. The following ones are sparse. This thing is so much fun. It comes up early in the season, and it just keeps going with so much interest. I love it. I love it. Look at these coneflowers coming. We're going to see some fun there. Let me show you the other bushes I put in. So that's what this is right here. I have this little nursery area where I put a bunch of brush down to protect these little babies. So I don't know how they'll do, but what I've done is I've stuck sticks. So I cut my willow. Oh, you guys, I gotta show you. So I cut my willow and my lilacs, and then I stick them. Oh, here's another patch. I put a little nursery patch for sticks to turn into bushes as they take. If the roots take and the plant survives, then here's another one. If the roots take, and I protect them with all the brush, acts like a mulch, things like that. So if they survive and begin to grow, I'll let them get a nice thing of roots, and then I'll transplant them into a forever spot. So here's one of my lilacs, and I have gone through and trimmed it all off, and I do my chop and drop method of putting the brush right where it came from. Let's see. I think that's it for today. I don't want to take any more of your time. It's been 20 minutes. These tall phlox. It's nice to see the buds. Very sentimental plant to me. Lots of buds. These are so fun down here. I cannot wait. When they open up, they are fire hot red. They are so great. These are the shorter version of the coneflower. And that name escapes me too. The ones that are shorter. Here's some more of those orange daisy things that I cut this whole patch back and spread the seeds all around, and I'm going to give it another chance. This thing is just delightful. Look at that. Look at that. It's so great. Okay, you guys. This little red bird says, go have a great day. Thanks for stopping in.